20 events, whatever, right? But the thing is, I can actually just do both. I can take my capital, fund WealthCon, and I can raise private money for my real estate deals and get the best of both worlds. So like, that's what we teach, is like, let's just get really good at raising money. So we don't even have to use our own money on the real estate deals. And I can use them for all the other things that, I'm doing.
What's your ultimate purpose for you, the core reason why behind WealthCon?
Behind WealthCon or me? Like,
behind the conference.
So I'll tell you this, like at the end of the day, when you're just growing in business, you guys will figure this out. A lot of times you don't even realize why things are happening, right? You're just like moving at such a fast pace if you're growing quick. That's just like you look up and it's a year later and you're like, what the heck just happened? And that's kind of like what happened with WealthCon. I'll tell you guys, 3 years ago, now 3.5 years ago, we started our all-star coaching program and it was 8 people in my living room. That was it. Brian was there, Zasha was there, a couple other people who I saw were there in that living room. And then, the program expanded. We ended up holding our next one in the office upstairs. Very first one, in that little conference room, there was like 25 people. Then, we had 50 people, then 100 people. We had to switch. We couldn't hold it there anymore. We didn't have this space yet. Then we rented our first like hotel out because we had 200 people there. And then, it just like, we met every quarter because that was what like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, we meet every quarter. That's what we do with coaching. And then it just kept growing really fast. And then, as time went on, then we had just bigger and bigger speakers. And then, we rented out the Mandalay Bay and had Hormozy speak, and we had like 700. And then we had, our event in January for 1,000, and last one was 1,000, this one's 1,000. And like, honestly, we've just been kind of figuring events out as we've gone along, but like, we're getting good at them, and we keep getting better with repetition. So like when I look at like events and I think about, man, where are we going with this? What's the purpose? I realize just like content and real estate, if I just do more of it, I'm gonna keep getting better. And like, if I do, think about this, I like to think in 5-year horizons. Somebody else throws an event once a year, right? For the next 5 years, they've thrown 5 events. I've thrown 20. Like, who's gonna have better events? I just have so much more experience than they do.
Are you positive on your $500,000 spend on this event, or is your main revenue on what the upsell might be?
Yeah, what revenue comes from the event is where the real revenue is. Ticket sales don't like do anything for the event. It's very much like the way social media is, where I spend all this money on social media, making it back just through social media isn't like what it's gonna be. The fact is, if I have 1,000 people in the room, I have so many ways we can do business together, right? If I get one deal, it pays for the whole event, right? We get the right commercial deal. If I get one investor who wants to invest with me and all these other things, it pays for the event, right? Like, take media out of it, take coaching out of it, like that stuff is going to happen too. But like, the amount of people I meet at the events, I met my partner, Brian Davila, at that very first event. Javi, the COO who you met, came to one of our events after joining the coaching program. Like, I already know I'm going to meet A players. So when you ask me like, why throw events so frequently, what's the purpose? I just know, number one, it's smart business. Like, it's going to lead to a lot of things great business-wise. 2, it creates life change. People come to the events and have really big breakthroughs. Do some of you guys feel like you have a breakthrough today? Something like a mental shift? Any of you guys had a mental shift? Or are you guys just tired? Okay. Hungry. So, there's life change that happens. And then 3 is just, they're fun, dude. For anyone, how many of you have been to an event before with us? Are they fun? Yeah, we have a lot of fun, like with the after parties and everything else. So like, they're fun. So we're gonna have a great time at the event. So it's like, if I have the ability to do it, why not? That's kind of how I perceive it. Yep.
What does day-to-day look like? How do you balance work and your personal life?
That was why I wrote the book, The Wealthy Way. So if you guys haven't read it yet, definitely go check it out on Amazon. You can get it for 99 cents on the Kindle. So yeah, with The Wealthy Way, that was just as something I kept getting that question over and over again. Dude, how do you balance it all? How do you have business success and family success? And faith? How do you stay healthy? You know, and I was like, well, that's a really loaded question. There's like way more that goes into it than what I could answer, you know, in a Q&A. And so that's why I wrote a freaking 200-page book, just to give the manual how to do it. So yeah, I would say definitely check it out. But what it comes down to is two things. If I could just sum it up in two things. One, getting your priorities in line with what's actually a priority to you. So if you say, hey, my family's a priority, okay, let me look at your actions, because your actions tell me your priorities, right? If your actions say, oh, I don't think social media, or if your actions say, hey, you know, I want to work at the office all day, I'll see my family if I have time, that tells me that they're not important. That tells me that business is more important, which is okay, just don't be a liar. Like, your actions say what you are, you know, your words don't. So understanding what your actual priorities are. So for me, if I say that my family's a priority, how do I build them into my schedule that shows they're a priority? And so it's like, all right, I'm not gonna work weekends, I'm gonna leave the office at 5 every day. You know, those for me show my family that, you know, they're important, you know? So that's one thing. The other thing is like, all right, if my faith is important, how much time am I spending with God? If my health is important, how often do I work out? What am I eating, right? I can't say these things are important to me if I don't actually take action on what I say. And that'll be something, you know, you guys will learn at this event too. It's like, you know, I'll ask you guys, I'll be like, hey, are you guys serious about getting into real estate? Are you guys doing this? And, you know, some of you guys will say, yeah, I'm serious. But then your actions won't say otherwise, right? So really what you want to make sure of is that you are actually doing what you say you want to do, right? So number one is priorities. Number two is this, okay? In order to have a lifestyle by design, to make the money you want to make, to have the time you want to have, you have to build a business. That's the only way to do it. Because if you're still a W-2 employee, you'll make as much as your hourly rate allows you to make. And that's it. You can maybe get a promotion and a raise, but you still got to work to earn this. That's it. So if you ever want to have a true lifestyle by design, you're going to have to build a business, and you're going to have to start trusting people and hiring people and have systems and processes so you can start making money while you sleep. You know, Warren Buffett says it like that. You know, he basically says, if you can't make money while you sleep, you know, you're never going to build wealth. And it's like true, because the only way to make money while you sleep is have a business and have assets. And so real estate can give you both of those things. Being a strong leader. Dude, I think you were reading my presentations earlier, man. I might have a presentation on leadership this upcoming event. We'll see. Because it's a problem that people have. So there's a lot that goes into being a good leader that people want to follow. You know, one of the younger kids was asking me that in the back. He's like, look, how do you get all these employees who are willing to like not only work for you and just work for you, but to like truly like buy in? And I'm like, well, you got to become a great leader. And like the 1 second answer was what I just said over here. You got to walk the talk. You know, imagine if I walked in here every day and I said all this crap on social media and I didn't do it in real life. Nobody would work here. They'd be like, this guy's a fraud, right? But imagine if every single day for the last 3 years, you saw me execute day in and day out what I preach. Consistency, you know, priorities, you know, going after it, taking risk. Imagine if I just did that every day. Well, what's going to happen is people are going to follow leaders who back up their actions or their words with action. And so for us, it's like everything that I try to do is like, if I'm not willing to do it, then I'm not going to ask, like I'm not going to do it. Like I'm just not even going to talk about it. You know, there are things I'm not willing to do, and you will never hear me talk about it. We got time for one more question.
Thank you so much for all the insight scoop that you're teaching us today.
Yeah.
It's extremely priceless. I have a most important question ever. Are you also going to teach us?
This is the most important question ever. That's a big. All right. Okay. Let me hear it.
Drum roll.
Better be about salvation, but tell me about it.
Are you also going to teach us how to have rock star hairstyle?
Pretty much, you got to be born with it. You know, I said real estate investing, you don't have to be born with natural talent. With hair, you do. So, it is what it is. Amen. That was a good question. All right. So, you know, a few things here as we wrap up, because this week is so jam-packed. Did you get a lot of value out of today already? Yeah. Okay, so, you know, we're gonna have lunch, and Robbie's gonna talk about all that stuff, but I actually want to talk about events because, you know, you just asked me about this. How many of you guys went to our event in Cabo like a couple weeks ago? See a few hands. How fun was it in Cabo? These guys are laughing. Okay, so look, I didn't actually plan to do this until Cabo was like, everybody's asking me like, dude, when's the next Cabo? When's the next event? I'm like, bro, we just did it. And they're like, we're ready for the next one. I was like, dude, we'll just throw an event every month. Like, I don't know. Like, GolfCon is coming up in 2 weeks. I'm kind of focused on that. So anyways, like I truly am like such a big believer in events, and you guys will see that tomorrow when I give a big presentation on how to properly go to events and how to make the most of them, because a lot of people just attend events and they don't really take advantage of what's there. You know, every event can literally make you $1 million. Like anyone in this room, I don't care where you're at, right? The right connection, the right thing you learn, like there's so many ways. I'm gonna go in depth on how I go to events and everything else. But at the end of the day, the talent in the room is really what makes the difference at an event. And the talent in the room is the speakers on stage, it's the people in the audience. You know, when you guys raised your hands and said 80% of you were making over 250 grand, do you realize how rare that is? Have you ever been in another room where that was the case? They don't exist, right? It takes a very special group to really find that, right? So, you know, for us, I'm trying to create as many of those environments where people who are like-minded, who, you know, want to pursue living the wealthy way, who want to pursue building wealth in real estate, who want to pursue building businesses, who want to pursue also having a great time and having fun, all in the same room. And I think all of you guys fit that, or else you wouldn't be here, right? That's why we have so many repeat attendees at our events, because they know. So anyways, I was doing this Cabo trip. I don't know if you guys can put it up here. I'm going to show this tomorrow, but I think it's, I'll just show you guys today. It's going to be funny. So, so you guys know. All right. So last month we went to Cabo, okay, with our NFT holders, and I'll show you a video of kind of what happened. Turn it up. Super excited for this week. We're gonna have a blast. Me la voy a llevar a toa con VIP, un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie. Selfies, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metí. Un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie. Selfies, que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí. Me gusta mucho la Gabriela, la Patricia, la Sofía, mi primera novia en Kinder. They called me out. The DJ called me out. I don't know how that happened. But anyways, obviously we had a lot of fun in Cabo, and they filmed it all. Like, I don't know, there was always a cameraman there. So anyways, we're essentially, this was not in the plan. I don't know if you guys, my clicker's not working. So anyways, yeah, today we're gonna, well, this is gonna be tomorrow. You guys are actually getting first access. We're gonna announce our winter retreat tomorrow. And, you know, it's gonna be super limited, just like Cabo, but we're gonna be vacationing together in Q4. Speaking of that, how many of you guys would want to go to somewhere like cold and winter kind of section? How many of you guys want to go tropical? All right. So I kind of like, I just wanted to get a feel for the room. That tells me what we're really thinking. Okay. So, we will not be going somewhere cold. We're going to have high-level networking opportunities just like this, you know, guest speakers, my team, attendees just like you, epic parties, activities, mastermind sessions, and there's going to be exclusive events at the retreat. In fact, there's going to be exclusive events at this event because I know that the smaller the room you're in, the more you get out of it. That's why you guys came to MVP. You came to be with more exclusive people. That's why 80% of you are making over 250 grand. It's because you paid more to be here. That's just literally what it was. You know, it's not to say 1,000 people aren't going to be like high level. There will be, for sure. But at the end of the day, you paid for exclusivity. That's what it was. And that's where you do get the most breakthrough. So for us, it's pretty simple. Like, this is going to be our cheapest event ever because I just want to make it super sick. So for non-students, it's $3,000. For current students, it's $1,500. Okay. You just have to cover your hotel and travel stay. We'll do the rest, and then it includes a spouse or a partner for any of you guys who want to bring your spouse. How many of you guys want to bring your spouse or a partner to this? How many of you guys are single and looking for a spouse? Okay, because my guy Chris Lynn over there, he was in Mexico, and I don't know. So, okay. Now, if you're not able to make this event too, just so you guys know, you'll be able to use the funds as a credit towards any other event, WealthCon or coaching program, whatever. So literally you have nothing to lose. We are just pre-selling this event, and you know, it's super limited. So we also have special gifts for anybody who goes to the winter retreat. So we got these special hoodies, the special hat, and also too, I want to point out these special cards. So I'm like a sucker for collectibles and, you know, cool things. That's why I'm like into NFTs and everything else. But we have these cards, okay? And they're aluminum. They're super nice. But they also have special access, okay? So they do special things. This gold one, which these are all going to come at random, so you don't know which one you're going to get, okay? Whenever you buy the winter retreat, you get one card, and it's going to be in an envelope, all right? So here's what's going to happen. If you end up getting the gold card, tomorrow night, we're going to have a penthouse party, okay? Super exclusive. It's going to be me, guest speakers, everyone else. You're going to get to come to the penthouse party if you have the gold card, okay? If you have the platinum card, you're going to get to come to the platinum party. You're going to get to come to the penthouse party on Thursday night, okay? So we're going to have a Wednesday party, a Thursday party. This is going to be like later at night, like 9 o'clock or 8 or 9 o'clock, okay? So you get to come to that. If you get the multicolor card, you are going to get to do something special at the winter retreat. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you'll have a special access to a cool event we're going to have there. So it's super simple. The cards are exclusive. Everything's going to be like one time. We're actually starting like at each event doing like Supreme style. You guys familiar with Supreme? So we're just going to do like special merch at each event, and like that's it. You know, once it's out, it's out. We're never going to make it again. So this is the event merch for the winter retreat. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited about the penthouse. I mean, here's what I can say, okay? I know the people that attend the retreat are going to be just like you. They're going to be very high-level people, because guess what? I mean, attending a vacation's a very big investment. And that's why Cabo was such a good, you know, time. There was great people. It was amazing. You know, it was awesome. So with this, you know, not only is the winter retreat going to be amazing, but whatever card you get in the penthouse, in the special, you know, event that we have at the winter retreat, you're going to have a good time. So would love to see you there. Oh, also too, I forgot to mention, those who end up, like, I'm going to show this tomorrow, so everyone's going to have access to it tomorrow. You guys are just getting first dibs. But for anyone that buys it today, we actually have our, what time's the bus leave? 2.
Yeah.
So we have the bus at 2 o'clock today to go, you know, view all of our flips and renovations. Like, we literally have like 2 buses coming right now at 2 o'clock. So even that's only for our all-star students, okay? So they're all gonna be there on those flips. So if any of you guys want to go on that, if you do it today, then you can go on the bus trip, even though you're not an all-star student, okay? So give you a taste of what the all-star students are about, you know, the networking, the quality, and all that stuff. And for those of you who are interested in All-Star 2, you know, there'll be ways to upgrade into it if you want to do that, okay? So I'm excited for not only WealthCon, I'm excited for the retreat, everything else, and I'm gonna let Robbie finish up here, and then we'll have lunch. So appreciate you guys for coming today.
Awesome. Ryan, thank you. And before you leave stage, Ryan, we've got something you don't know about yet. So we love surprises here. And come up here, man. Come up here. Feel free to stand on your own stage, my friend.
Okay.
So a lot of people have been helped by what you do, and sometimes they just want to give back, and we have that opportunity here today. We have a student who's been really impacted by what you and this team of amazing people have provided. So we have something cool. Sal, do you want to come up here?
Yeah.
Let's give Sal, oh there he is. Sal, let's give Sal a nice round of applause. Sal has something special. I'm just going to turn the mic over to you. You can just maybe tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, how Ryan's impacted you, and then what you got for him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a paddock. I'll start with that.
Okay.
Hey everybody, my name's Sal Cataldo. I'm the CEO and visionary of Construction Unlimited. We are a residential contractor. We do roofing and framing in Central Florida for a lot of other builders. So I kind of started following Ryan on social media in 2022. And this was like at the windfall of probably one of the most difficult years that I had in business and personally. Dealt with a really tough situation, had a longtime friend and basically like a brother who found out he was embezzling money out of my company. And it was really like tumultuous, grieving the loss of that friendship and that relationship. And you know, in 21 and 22, we went from consistent growth, like 30% year over year and profitable, to flatlined and not making any money as a business. And it was a really scary time for me. And so in 22, I came to the event in September and did something that was uncharacteristic of me, because normally I think as an entrepreneur, I'm like, if I just get the right information, then I can figure it out myself. But you know, I came and it came as an MVP like you guys, and I listened to everything that was going on, and I saw the value of making connections and tapping into this community. So I joined the All-Star program, and in my business from 21 and 22 of cleaning up that whole mess, you know, it was rough. Like our business, if you looked at top line sales, we looked like we were strong, 16.5 million in revenue, but we didn't make any money, like basically lost money. And then this year to date, after tapping into the Wealthy Investor Network, you know, hiring Sharper Process, which is now a part of Wealthy Business, having them come into the business and start to put together processes and systems. You know, we went from what I told you about at 16.5 flat to now year to date 9.5 million in revenue, and we've made 1.1 million in net profit. And so before you started the rebrand, I had got with a local artist in Orlando to commission an art piece for you. And I don't know if you remember, but in January I asked you like a random question. I was like, so what was like the most impactful or memorable flip, or what was the first flip you did, and what was the street name of it? And I think you told me it was View Drive or View Street.
Yep. 205 View.
Yeah. So I got with that artist and wanted to commission a piece of basically all of your brands in one. And so we have that today that I'd like to present to you as a token of my appreciation for.
That means a lot, dude. That means a lot. View Drive, you got Judah the Lion. Dude, this is sick. I appreciate it, man. Dude, I mean, for me, like I honestly had no idea this happened. Like, I'm just grateful to hear like the success stories, you know, to hear like so many people got really hurt at the end of 2022 when interest rates went up and everything. And, you know, I lost money during that time too. And to see you rebound so hard already and like where you're going is like, it's just the beginning.
It is.
That's the cool thing. So I appreciate you, bro. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Sal.
I'll take
It
this.
really is cool, man. Yeah, you take that, man. You got the arms for it. Really amazing. So, Sal, thank you. That just like brought the event together. You guys feel that? You guys feel that? So, really amazing event so far. I've enjoyed myself. We've got so much more to go. So I want to touch on a few quick things. We're gonna have lunch here in a minute, and lunch is gonna work where we're coming into that door right there. So just go in that door, and there's a team of people ready to help serve you and get started. And so you'll grab food, and then just grab a spot to eat, and then one thing that we've had so many people asking. I've had 4 or 5 different people talk to me about All Star, and they say, "Well, what is this?" And so if you have questions, if those of you who want to be like, I think it was Sal. Did you get started on All Star while you were at MVP Day? He goes, I'm just gonna get started now, just like day one. So, you know, Sal got started on MVP day, and there's some of you here today that are saying, that's exactly why I'm here. I'm here because I'm looking for help, and I'm looking for implementation, and that's exactly what All Star's about. We have a bunch of coaches that are here. Anyone that's wearing a Wealthy shirt, talk to them, and they can hand you over to a coach, and you can have a conversation with them about that. Feel free to do that at lunch. You know, if you want to be able to get a taste of what the All-Star program is like, get started on the winter retreat. Can we get the winter retreat back up here? Because I don't think everybody was able to grab the QR code. So, you know, get in the winter retreat. There's still room on that bus, and so you can get a seat on that bus and go check out some of these properties. So we're gonna break here for lunch. It's gonna happen just right in here. Make sure you get a really solid high-level networking, and we are gonna take pictures with Ryan in there, aren't we? That was our plan because we didn't get it done. Yeah, so obviously Ryan, if we can all be very compassionate to the fact that he has literally poured everything into us for the last couple of hours, give him a short break, and then we'll get started on some pictures in that during lunch as well. Brian, am I missing anything?
Nope, just bus tour.
Okay, yeah, and the bus stores it too. So for those of you get in that winter retreat, get on that bus as well. So let's go ahead and break to lunch. I always love to break with some sort of like, you know, something that says, hey, good job. So could everybody stand up? Let's. I'm gonna try and think of something off the cuff right now. Okay. All right. So if you've had a really